Class 7B, welcome to your English language class. We shall continue with chapter 10, verbs, non-finite types. We have already understood what infinitives and participles are. Today we will understand gerunds. Children, if you look at the board here, verbs plus ing. Gerunds are verbs plus ing forms of verbs. If you recall, this is just the same form that we have learned about present participles, right? The same form which is used for present participles. So verbs plus ing can be used as gerunds. Verbs plus ing can also be used as present participle, but the difference between the two is in their usage. Let's learn in what conditions gerunds are used. As the subject in a sentence, that is the first condition. A gerund may be used as the subject in a sentence. Consider the example. Reading the Gita has become my habit. Reading the Gita has become my habit. Here, reading is the form of verb plus ing, right? It is in the form of verb plus ing, that is, it is in the ing form, but reading is not used here as a present participle. It is used as a noun. Children, understand, and the noun is used here as a subject in the sentence. What has become my habit? Reading the Gita. So reading here is used here as a noun because that becomes the subject in the sentence. It is not used here as a verb. Children, be very clear about this. Singing is a good art. When I say singing is a good art, singing, sing plus ing form is used as a gerund. It is used as a noun. What is a good art? Singing is a good art. Therefore, singing here is a gerund and not a participle. Don't be confused, children. The second condition, as the complement of the verb in a sentence. One of Mohan's recreation is singing. Gerunds may also be used as a complement in a sentence. It is also used as a noun here. Look at the sentence again. Singing here is not a verb. One of Mohan's recreation. What is one of Mohan's recreation? It is singing. Singing gives us the answer to the question what. Hence, it is a noun. Now, we also need to understand what a complement is. If you remember, object, direct object, indirect object and complements. We had learned this in class 6 in details. Yet, if you have forgotten what a complement is, let me explain to you once more. A complement is a word, phrase or a clause that is necessary to complete the meaning of a given expression. These basically help to complete the meaning of a predicate. Now consider this sentence again. One of Mohan's recreation is singing. Singing is a complement here. If we omit singing, one of Mohan's recreation is. Does that sentence make a sense? No. The sentence remains incomplete in its meaning if the complement is omitted. Hence, the complement is a word, a phrase or a clause which is important to complete the meaning of the predicate. One of Mohan's recreation is singing. Singing here is again a gerund and it is used here as a complement, okay, of the verb. The verb here is. The next point says as the object of a verb. Example, we stopped talking. A gerund may also be used as object of a verb in a sentence. We stopped what? We stopped talking. We is the subject here. Stopped is the verb here. What did we stop? We stopped talking. Talking again here is used as a noun, children. This is not just because there is an ing. This does not become a ing form of verb. Remember this is not an ing form of verb. This is used as a noun here. It is very much the object to the verb stopped in the sentence. So again, this is a gerund. The fourth point says as the object of a preposition. Remember, a gerund is also used as an object of a preposition. In such sentences, you will find the gerund placed mostly right after the preposition in a sentence. He is fond of playing football. What is he fond of? Playing football. Here, playing is the gerund, which is an object or the preposition of. Playing is not a verb here, children. Remember, playing is a noun here. Always ask question with what in order to get the noun or the noun phrase in a sentence. What is he fond of? Playing football. Playing football is the noun phrase here, and playing is the gerund here. This is how you are to distinguish between a participle and gerund. You will find participles and gerunds are confusing, but keep these points very clear in your mind. A participle will be used as a verb, but a gerund will be always used as a noun. How do you identify a noun? By asking a question with what to the verb. Number 5, gerunds are also called verbal nouns. Just like this morning we have learned that participles are called, what were participles called, children? Verbal adjectives, right? Gerunds are called verbal nouns. Why? The reason is the word form is verb because there is an ing. Let's consider this playing, this word playing here in this sentence. He is fond of playing. Playing, if we look at this word playing, play plus ing, at an instant we would say that this is a verb because the form of the word is verb as ing is added to the base form play, but it is used as a noun when it is used as a gerund. Therefore, gerunds are also called verbal nouns. I hope you have understood. Now look at these few examples. Cooking is an art. What is an art? Cooking. Cooking becomes a noun. Reading is good. What is good? Reading is good. Reading is a noun. She loves making dolls. Look, children, dolls is a noun here. But making is not an adjective. You cannot say that. Making here becomes an adjective. She loves what? She loves making dolls. So we are talking about making dolls. Here, making dolls, the entire phrase is a noun. It is not used as a verb. Hence, it is a gerund. Chitra is good at painting. What is Chitra good at? Painting. That again becomes a noun. I object to meeting her. I object to what? To meeting her. Meeting as a noun. Seeing is believing. What is believing? Seeing. Seeing is what? Believing. Both ways it is a noun. Therefore, all these underlined ing words are gerunds here. I hope you have understood, children. This is the simplest way I could explain to you. I am sure you will be able to understand. Just go through the textbook once. The same points that I have mentioned here are there in your book. You will be you can reinforce in yourself these points. Reinforce these points to yourself by going through the textbook. That will only help you to understand gerunds better. There are a few exercises here. I would request you to practice these, and I will be sending you the answer keys. Thank you, children. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.